Hi again. This is our mole roadmap that we got back on April 15th. And we're going to add, I said to save the bottom, and we're going to add to it. Most of this information, this top part, is on page 303 in your textbook. And yeah, so we just need to cover this bottom little bit. Most of the time in real problems, you're going to have at least 2 steps in your conversions. The key, again, is to remember to put the asked for over the given, okay? Whenever you're trying to cancel units, set up your fractions horizontally as well. It'll make your life a lot simpler. So one common conversion is converting mass of one thing to volume of another thing. And again, you're going to have to always go through moles. They're the heart of chemistry. And the first step usually requires division, even though we're going to set it up as multiplication 1 over something. And then the second step is going to require multiplication. So if you need to change grams into liters for whatever reason, you're going to start out with your number of grams. That's mass. And you're going to put some information about that substance's molar mass down here. So you're going to divide the grams of a given substance by its molar mass. You could stop right there and be done with it, and then use it in your next calculation. Or if you need to change into volume, the next thing you're going to do is put, I'm going to assume this is at STP, 22.4 liters per 1 mole. Okay, and then when you go through and cancel grams, cancel grams, moles, cancel moles, and you're left with liters. Now, very often, and what we've been talking about, is you're going to have to convert grams of one thing into liters of another thing, and then you're going to need your mole ratio from the balanced equation. And so that might be something in here, but we're just going from a mass to a volume. So this is kind of early calculations with mole calculations. If you're given a volume and you need to convert it to mass, it's going to be very similar. So number of liters is your volume that you were given times 1 mole per 22.4 liters, again, assuming you're at STP. And then if you need to get to grams from that, how many grams would that be? You're going to find the molar mass of 1 mole of that substance. And so for elements, you look on the periodic table. Sometimes you have to double it for diatomics, but if it's a compound, you add up all of the elements' molar masses and watch and multiply for subscripts. So again, liters cancel liters, moles cancel moles. We're left with grams in our answer, and that gets us to the mass. If you have to do a conversion for particles into grams, you have to remember that one mole of any substance has 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles. Those could be atoms, they could be molecules, they could be formula units. You have to watch out. For example, H2O has 3 atoms, so they're asking for atoms. You'd have to multiply this all by 3. And then if we had to convert that into a mass, again, we're going to need the molar mass of whatever you're dealing with. So you look on the periodic table and add that all up. And again, particles cancel particles, moles cancel moles, you're left with grams. And of course, you can go the other way as well. You start with number of grams, divide by the molar mass of that substance in grams, and then multiply by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles per mole, if that's what you need to get to. Again, it seems like a lot of work keeping units with things. It really saves you. You'll know whether you need to divide or whether you need to multiply, depending on whether it's in the denominator or the numerator. And of course, in real stoichiometry, we would go from, most likely from grams of one substance to grams of another. Could be volumes to volumes, it depends. Not gonna do lots more with particles, okay? That's kind of gonna go away, but that's the basis for the moles. So we do talk about it, but we really don't care how many atoms or molecules total exactly that we have. We're more interested in how big a vessel we need to put it in, how much does it weigh. And that's that.